Hi, it's Jonathan McHugh from Q-Score. We're sitting here with Asdru Sierra, who is the lead singer and trumpet player and multi-instrumentalist with the group Ozomatli. And he's also getting ready for his first solo record, Abstracto, to be released later this year. But on Tuesday, March 11th, the brand new Ozomatli record comes out, and he's about to hit the road and do his thing. Asdru, how do you feel about getting on the road and promoting your record?
Well, been doing it for almost 20 years, man. So I look forward to it as much as I'm going to miss my family.
You know, it's got to be a hard balance, that kind of making a life, living on the road.
At the same time, it's a load of gratitude because I get to play music for a living, and people actually pay money to come and see the band and hear the music. So I find myself really lucky.
Yeah, the first time my daughter actually ever got up on stage and danced was at an Ozomatli concert at High Sierra. It's a true lifetime memory. So Asdru is also a composer and has had a lot of songs in film and TV. Talk about the process and how it's different from making music and what you love about creating music for film and TV.
Music for film and TV is basically the first thing I learned when I was learning how to compose and actually how to work on films. It's somebody else's canvas, and we provide a service. There's a good symbiont circle when there's an actual natural mesh and meld with whoever is the creative on the video side. And it's we are who we are as when we work as an Ozomatli brand. It's a big wide range of it, and whoever actually we end up composing for, like recently we just did some cartoons. We did 2 seasons of cartoons for Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, a comedian. And we do all the music, the ins and outs for his show. So for every comedian that comes up for the show, and everybody within that world needs a different kind of music. So we could either do dubstep or cumbia or rancherita or just straight up rock, which we all love, It's a wider range of music that you have to play for people because everyone is different. We're living in a playlist culture. Everyone has their own playlist, and it could be Queen or it could be the Kronos Quartet for one person,
And if you had to look back at all the music you've had in film, is there one song or piece of music that you did that stands out for you as your favorite?
Well, one of our songs actually was licensed for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and is my wife going to watch this? She won't watch this. But, Angelina Jolie she was shooting this BB gun throughout this one scene, and they're singing one of her songs, Who Discovered America. And she's, it's Angelina Jolie. Come on, fellas, right? I got to have a song forever with Angelina Jolie shooting a BB gun with those big lips of hers. That's badass.
That's way badass, dude. And that's the beautiful thing about what you do, being able to hit to all these different fields and make music for film and TV. So tell us about the new Ozomatli record. What's your single and what's the direction of this record?
For Ozomatli? Well, we got this new single. I got together with Dave Stewart, who's an amazing producer, one of the members of Eurythmics. I got to sit with them. We've known each other for a long time. Our kids are friends. They've been going to school together for a long time, since preschool. And I think we were always just friends for the longest time. And this last record, I just asked him to say, "Hey, man, you want to do something together?" And he was like, in his very sweet, soft voice as he is, he goes, "I was waiting for you to ask me, man." So we got together, and working with him is like working in a playground, It's like, it's so easy, and it's just, you're just hanging out. You speak a lot about what you want to do, where you are, and then you write the song, and it's better than just, sometimes you sit with people and you feel like you're on the clock. You got to do this, chorus, verse, bridge, out, and not with him, it was fun,
And so your next thing after Ozomatli is going to be your own solo record called Abstracto. Talk about, on Purple House Records, talk about working with the guy who runs Purple House Records and your co-producer on the record, Baltazar Getty.
Baltazar Getty, I worked with him on his Solar Drive project a long time ago. Same thing where our kids are friends, so that's how we hooked up. And we did this one song that is this kid who's kind of a recluse, and he's he's like the kid that wears black all the time, and nobody really talks to him in high school, and he has a crush on a girl who has a bunch of friends, and there's a lot of pressure, peer pressure that always happens when you're in high school when it comes to things like that, and you just hear his thoughts, his thought process while it's all happening. He's having this crazy crush, and he's getting shot down by all her friends. Not her friends. And I get to cuss in that song, which I never do. But Baltazar is the kind of guy that, when it comes to music, he's kind of like the acting coach for songwriting. He doesn't tell you what to do, but he puts you in the right direction because I think he really knows me. He really knows what I can do. And when we actually started working on his record, I was in this mode of trying to get like a hit, and try to do something. And he's like, no, man, you've done films, you've done really cool stuff, you've composed by yourself, doing all sorts of stuff for different indie films all around, and you should go with that, and it should all be in Spanish, man. And here I am. It's like in my band, we've always struggled, we've always done English and Spanish together, and it's always been hard to put us in a box in order to sell us. But for some reason, film and TV has always loved what we did. It just made sense. So we made a record that was very cinematic, I got stuck in his house with a big, giant, it sounds like we're in the New York Palladium back in the 60s, all the horns that we did. So there's a lot of horns, there's a lot of things in Spanish, it's everything that there is in the songs is something that you feel. And I just caught moments, like, for example, like some Shakespeare stuff, and you just get some of the music that goes into, like, the 3 seconds when Juliet figures out that Romeo died, what does that sound like? And it's basically heartbreak for everybody, There's music like about revenge. There's music about death. But it's not a negative aspect on death. But if anybody's ever been hit really hard or knocked out or close to death, there's always this little moment of when you feel complete peace, And if anybody's ever been knocked out or almost, like, even on the dentist table when they give you that shot and you're out so they could take your teeth out, that feeling of peace, I wrote about that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful record. As a matter of fact, you're going to be listening to some music in the background while we're talking, because why the hell not? Because we can. So what, if you had to say one standout track that you just love so much, what would it be on this record coming up?
Well, the first one that actually started everything was this one track called Marcando Paso, which is about trudging. And there's no drums in it, but it's just marching. I use these boots, and I start marching in a big room. And
can we get a shot of the boots? Can we get the boots? Get the boots. Interview the boots. The boots are the star of that track. Marcando Paso.
I'd like to thank all the little people that stepped on to get here. Thank you.
Trudging up the hill. Yeah, and in the background is a little bit of Marcando Paso while we're here. So that's about it for me, man. I'm looking forward to hearing the record and getting you out there and enjoy the party tonight. Have you ever been in a room with all music supervisors?
No, this is a first. Actually, this is going to be a trip. I should have just brought CDs and just handed them out to everybody. Hey, check this idea out. I think you would like this, bro.
As a matter of fact, Marcando Paso, there was already a request for that for a TV show, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. For
Lee Gottlieb.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, everybody, Asdru Sierra, give it up. For more Q-Score, please check us out at emPOWERme.tv to find out what goes on behind the curtain and how the film and TV music gets made. It happens right here. Tune in.